Yeah, that's a really good question because, you know, you've got to have, you know, how do you get your significant other on board with this, owning apartments? I can tell you that if you don't, it's not going to work out. Not at all. It's going to be a fight most of the time, and it's not going to be you and your wife, right? You and your wife, it just wouldn't be good. So here's what I can realistically tell you, and this is going to sound sexist, but that's not what I'm trying to do. This is fact. So when I have phone calls, conference calls, or even face-to-face meetings with husband and wife, most of the time, or you know, significant others, man and man, woman, whatever, you know, a couple, okay. But most of the time, it's husband and wife. Right now, it's usually the husband that is sitting on the edge of his seat, ready to make the commitment to move forward, and his wife is sitting back, you know, arms crossed, not even wanting to be there, but just doing it just to pacify him. And so, I mean, I already know that the chances that they'll do anything are pretty much none. And I've even had couples come into my office and get into fights in my office. I've had it happen on more than one occasion, where they'll come in and it's an argument on buying a property. Well, what kind of success are you going to have? And I would tell you, just from a personal standpoint, one of the main reasons we've been able to grow and expand and get to a point where we're at right now, there's no doubt about it, is because my wife is 100% behind what I'm doing and what we're doing. She's on board, okay? We have conversations about this stuff all the time. That would not be the case if she wasn't on board. I wouldn't be talking to you right now if she wasn't on board, I don't think. So it is so very important to have the significant other, husband, wife, significant whatever, on board. Because if you don't, and they won't get on board, it's not going to work. I'm just telling you. And the big mistake that people make here too is they think that they'll be able to talk them into it, or they'll be able to, you know, somehow change them, change their attitude, or force them. I'll drag them with me. I'll drag her along with me. I'll drag him with me to buy this property. Yeah, you go ahead and do that and see what happens. You see what happens. So no, I mean, it really takes, and look, I understand it depends on the relationship. So sometimes in the relationship, marriage or whatever, sometimes one person makes all those decisions and the other person just kind of goes along with it. You know, maybe the husband's more the financial person, and maybe the wife is more the, you know, take care of the family social person. You know, there's that kind of stuff that could go on. Maybe it's the other way around. I mean, so there's those kinds of things. There's those dynamics, I understand. But bottom line, you know, your question, how do I get my wife more involved with and really wanting on board with this, is I don't have an answer for you. There's no book. There's no, here's like the 3 tricks. There's nothing like that. So what I would tell you is you need to have the conversation about what I've been talking about, which is where you are now financially to where you could be by being involved as an owner in some of these properties. Okay, and if the connection can't be made there, then I mean, you can keep working on it and keep going. But I mean, I don't want to sound negative, but it's going to be almost impossible for you to do something. Okay, all right.